everyone, I'm your host, Brittany Jones-Cooper, and welcome back to Build. The show Manifest follows the crew and passengers of Flight 828, who disembarked to find that the world has aged 5.5 years. No biggie. Now, season 1 provided a lot of answers, and even more questions, though. So star Melissa Roxburgh is here to talk about what we can expect from season 2. Take a look.
Previously on Manifest.
It didn't happen as Cal. What's going on?
Save the passengers.
I get that you're trying to save the passengers, but we don't even know from what.
The death date, Michaela.
Let's pause on the death date talk. Focus on something more positive.
Now, the fun thing about higher math and
Professor Stone, is your IQ higher than it used to be?
I heard that one of the passengers cured cancer.
We all belong. All of us are special.
I think I made a discovery. May even be the key to discovering what happened to us on that plane.
Really?
Major has a mole accessing your research.
You're always asking me questions.
Because I'm your lab assistant?
Not anymore.
I didn't know what to do. I didn't want to call the police. It wasn't me.
If I find that he murdered this girl, then it's my job to make sure he never sees the light of day.
He didn't do it. He is a passenger.
You've known him for one day. His prints were all over her room.
Passengers are pretty much the only people I can trust, so please, dig deeper.
What do you want?
Put your hands together for Melissa Roxburgh. I like that you brought the sunshine with you today.
I tried a little bit, yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, I can't say that it's all me. I definitely had someone help putting this together, but figured yellow might brighten the January up.
I needed the brightening up because I'm in this like sad gray. Now I'm like, I'm gonna wear some color tomorrow.
You're in mood with the snow that
True.
happened.
Did you go anywhere over your break or have like some downtime?
I did. We finished filming in the beginning of December, and then I went home for a little bit.
Canada, right?
Canada, Vancouver, yeah. Saw the family, and then tried to get some sunshine, and now I'm back here.
And now you're back just in time for the premiere of season 2.
Exactly.
I got to check out the premiere, which I had to because the season finale for season 1, the cliffhanger was almost unbearable, and we've had to wait quite a long time.
I know. We kept everyone waiting a little longer than normal this time.
So what is that like for you? Because it was such a cliffhanger. We don't know who got shot. I won't spoil anything. What was it like for you having that secret for so long?
I mean, the way that they've like put out trailers and teased it, I think they've done a good job of keeping it a little ambiguous, but I'm really curious to see how many people like know who got shot. But yeah, I don't know. It's everyone asks and I kind of want to give it away, but no.
What is it like for you, though, when you get a script like that is that much of a cliffhanger, that much fun?
I mean, it needed to end with a bang. Yeah. Not literally, but literally. Yeah, I think season 1 was so strong that the way that they ended it was good. Yeah.
So where do we pick up in season 2?
We pick up right where we left off. We get to find out who got shot in the first episode back. We also, if you guys remember the death date of us kind of figuring out that we had a certain amount of time left to live. So we have to figure out what that means for the rest of our lives, if we can stop it. Yeah, and like continuing to kind of figure out where we went with the plane itself. So, and then also Ben has Grace is pregnant, so they're trying to figure out who the baby daddy is. There's a lot of loose threads still.
That's what I love about this show is that, from the pilot, there are so many questions that need to be answered.
Yeah.
And then as we get through the season, you guys answer a lot of questions, and it's very fulfilling in that way. But at the same time,
get more
presenting more questions.
I know.
And so that's what keeps us coming back, and that's what's so fun.
Yeah.
You mentioned the death dates or the expiration dates, which were a really big reveal in season 1. How do you think that impacts your character, Michaela?
I mean, Michaela and Ben have kind of always played, not opposite, like they're on the same team, but Ben, one being science-based, he also believes that maybe we shouldn't just listen to the callings and maybe he can stop this death date. Michaela has kind of taken the approach of faith and maybe everything happens for a reason, so she's not necessarily fighting the death date and she's more listening to the callings, going with what they say. But then later in the season, she kind of doesn't do that, and we see the consequences of that.
And it seems like she has a really special relationship with Cal.
Yeah.
More so than like his dad or some of the other.
Oh, no.
You know, like.
Don't tell Josh that.
Okay. It just feels like they're a little more in sync with the calling.
Yeah. I mean, I think.
And he's also very creepy, I have to say it.
The kid?
Yeah. You know, kids with powers are always just a little creepy to me. And he's a very good actor. He does a great job.
Any kid who draws pictures of tombstones, you're going to be like, what?
With like your name on it, you're like, come on, kid.
No, I mean, Michaela's made a lot of mistakes in her life, but at the end of the day, as far as family goes, she would kill for them. So I think that's where the relationship, she has that with Olive as well, but since Cal went through what she did, I think there's that extra bond there. For sure.
What is the difference in playing Michaela now versus before? Because coming in with the pilot, there were so many, like I said, questions that needed to be answered. But now that you understand her world a little bit more, has that changed how you approach her?
Yeah, I think season 1, Michaela was a bit more of a hot mess. She comes back, her fiance's married to somebody else. We reveal that she accidentally killed her best friend in a drunk driving accident. Now she's hearing voices in her head. It's like there was no win for her. But I think going into season 2, with her even understanding the world a little bit more, she's kind of settled into it, not come to terms with it necessarily, but understood that this is the new reality that she's in. And she's trying to be better for it. So the decisions that she's making are all to be better. Like, she left a lot of mistakes in her past. So now every decision that she has moving forward is her attempt to become a better person, to do right by people. She definitely does not get it right all the time. She makes a lot more mistakes. And she, you know, I don't want to say betrays, but she, you know, crosses lines with a few people, and we get to see dynamics shift a little bit in season 2 for her and Jared and her and Ben and a few other people.
Let's talk about Jared.
Okay.
Because a lot of people were shipping them very early on.
Yeah.
And we got some resolution there, but now we're still sort of trying to figure out where they're at.
Yeah.
I guess I can't ask for like what happens, but how fun is it to play that dynamic, knowing that the fans really kind of want them back together?
It's fun, and it's no. I mean, season 1 was such a build-up for those two characters that when they finally got together, you want it to just be the end. You're like, just give these guys a break. But it's complicated. I mean, it's not like she cheated. It's not a good situation. So I think she's, in trying to be a better person, still struggling with that part of it too. And she wants to be a good person, so she kind of backs off from Jared again. And, you know, at the end of the episode, a gun goes off. There's 3 people in a room. Maybe one of them doesn't make it. So we see, dynamics shift based on that as well. So
yeah, I started to not really like Jared at the end of.
Okay.
He got a little controlling, right? And it was like, I get that you love her, but you gotta trust what she's telling you.
Baby.
You know, like just there's limits. We don't need a you situation.
Yeah. We were just talking. We binged it. We binged it.
So I was actually okay with her kind of separating from him because I feel like he got a little too involved.
They came in hot and heavy. I think it just needed a little breather. And then going into season 2, now Zeke's in the picture as well. Yeah. And they have a lot more in common. He understands what Michaela's been through. So, you know, there's just an understanding between them too, and an attraction.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to have a triangle. You got to have a triangle.
You have to have a triangle. Yeah. This triangle is like especially interesting though because 2 of them are like seeing callings every 30 minutes, and
it's hard to, crazy.
Yeah, it's hard to compete with that sort of connection when you're also not getting the callings. You're like, this isn't fair.
I know.
They have this special thing.
Little left out.
Yeah. So last time you were here, you talked about creator Jeff Flake and how he knows how it's going to end, but he's really hard to break. Have you had any luck getting?
He's not that hard anymore.
Oh, I was going to say, have you got more insight into where this whole crazy world is going eventually?
Yeah,
you
absolutely.
do.
Yes and no. What can I give away? You know, he has a 6-year plan for the show in general. Wow. Yeah, like 6 seasons. He's had this idea in his head for 10 years, even before Malaysia 370 happened. I don't know if my timing is off. I don't know when Malaysia 370 happened now. I'm going to put my foot in my mouth, aren't I?
2012 or 11?
Okay, so within the 10
years. 2014.
Okay.
I have no idea.
So then Malaysia 370 came out, and all of a sudden his show was, you know, people wanted to make it because of this. So he's had this in his head for a long time, creating ideas. Obviously, those have changed over the years, and he's come up with new ones. But for the most part, he has a clear direction of the 6 seasons. And so, I don't know. I feel like I'm the nosiest person on the cast. A lot of people don't want to know. They want to like be surprised as the episodes come. But I don't know. I'm that turd that skips to the end of the book and finds out what happens.
I would need to know just because this world is so big and there's so many. When you go online, that's what it's fun to be a fan of this show because there's so many Reddit threads and theories and all these, you know. So have you seen any of these theories from fans or any that really jump out to you that you kind of like or think are interesting?
You know, I haven't actually checked in on the fan theories in a little bit, just because we've been off the air. So I'm curious to see what people come up with when we're back on the air. But yeah, I mean, we have a very creative fan base. And honestly, a lot of the times I'm like, I wouldn't have even thought of that. It's pretty good. So
I have a question too, only because I feel like I'm a person where when I see a movie that has sort of these like religious or sort of bigger themes, I start seeing them in my own life.
No.
So like, do you see 828 places now? Or, you know what I mean? Like, are you more aware of that stuff now that you've been in this script for so long?
Not 828 specifically. I can't even say I see peacocks a lot or anything. No. Yeah.
That's probably good.
Yeah. I wish I could.
Okay. That's good. Like I saw the movie Us and they have 1111 in that movie. And then for like a week or two afterwards.
You were just noting the 1111s.
I was like, oh, I'm cursed. Like
I know. That's such an interesting thing because like for me, when people say like I see 1111 all the time, it's that 50% of it is you're seeing 1111. And then 50% of it is you're looking for 1111. So it's like with our show, I guess I just haven't been looking as well. Maybe that's what it is.
You will notice in 2020, you'll see 828 every time you look at the clock.
828s. Oh no.
I love this show, and I love this is such a big show for you. The first time you're leading like a network. But you didn't grow up in like a Hollywood family at all.
No, gosh, no. My dad's a pastor, and my mom played Wimbledon. So just no arts in our family. I was definitely the black sheep. For a long time, I think they didn't discourage me, but I think they thought I was a little quacky to want to go into this industry. You know, it's not easy at all. So
and that's why I said you don't come from a Hollywood family because there's no. Oftentimes that helps.
Yeah.
If you're really coming from just like a average family, it's
no.
I
actually like my parents really do support me, but at the same time, I think that they worried that I would get a little lost because I mean, it's a big industry. You can get cut down, but now that things are kind of doing okay, they're quite supportive. So,
what was your road like? Like, did you go to theater school, or how did you get into acting?
I think I'd always wanted to do it in hindsight. You know, I was that kid that stole my parents' video camera and tried to get my siblings to be a part of terrible movies that I created. But then my parents made me wait until after high school to really get into it. So, I got in touch with this acting coach who helped me find an agent. And then I, kept at it for 10 years and finally it kind of clicked.
What was the first big role that you booked that you were like, I'm an actor?
I was definitely delusional because it was Diary of a Wimpy Kid, which was one of the first auditions I'd gone out for. And I thought, oh, it'll be like this from here on out. No, I don't think I booked another job for 2 years after that. And then, it's just like there's ups and downs. Like when this show ends, maybe I won't work again for a long time. And who knows? But, you just kind of got to stick with it. Yeah.
But what I've learned about you is that you don't put all of your eggs in one basket. I know you do a lot of philanthropy and a lot of different work, specifically with the International Rescue Committee, right? You're an ambassador for them?
I'm on their leadership team here in New York. I kind of owe that to my parents. One, with my dad being a pastor, he took us on a lot of trips to, he works with a soccer team called Athletes in Action, so they got to travel a lot. And he got to take us to places like Guatemala, Mexico City, and Albania. So we got to see a world outside of North America. And I feel like until you actually step outside, it's easy to think that, this little bubble that you're in is just, that's it. But as soon as you step outside, you realize what's actually going on in the world and what you need to do to help.
And those were mission trips? Or
yes
sometimes...
and no. Like sometimes they were missions trips and other times they were just purely for the sake of like showing his kids that there's a world out there that's not North America. And so coming out of that as an adult now, I wanted to do everything that I could to give back in that way. And the IRC has this program called Gen R, which is for younger people who want to get into that kind of thing. And they help them bring into volunteer positions. They help fundraise, advocate. I'm actually going to go to Jordan with them this year. So they've done a really good job of integrating young people into helping, essentially. And then overseas, they work in over 40 countries. They have, medical aid. They do counseling. They run camps for the kids. They're helping with the camps at the border right now. So they're doing a lot overseas and locally.
Is there an initiative that you are specifically sort of lending your efforts and time to?
What do you mean by that?
Like within the organization, because you just mentioned all of the amazing work that they do. Is there one specific, I guess, initiative that they're doing this year that you're really excited about or passionate about?
I mean, yes and no. Like on the leadership team, we're constantly trying to find ways to raise money for the organization, but also to get the word out. So there's not necessarily like a specific thing. Personally, I like the women's aspect of it, just because I feel like that's a super underrepresented portion, which is why there's another organization called A21 run by Christine Kane, and that's for sex trafficking and slavery. And so she's created this organization which become super helpful to women all over the world in the sex industry. So yeah.
That's such an important, I've seen more and more work being done in that arena, and it's something I'm very passionate about as well. Because it's happening around us, and I think a lot of people don't realize that. They think it's something that's happening in different countries or in really seedy places, and it's literally happening next door to a lot of people.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, in places like Syria and Somalia and stuff too, like the dynamics over there, they don't allow women to really like get out of that either, and so that the things that they do over there really allow women to become educated as well, which they wouldn't have the opportunity to do.
That's so cool that you're getting to use this platform for things that you really care about. Is that something that's always been important to you, to just make sure that the work also balances out with your life?
We like the people in this industry, if you are given a good platform, I think that it's necessary and important to use it for things that actually matter and that make the world better. I know that's kind of a cliche thing to say, but I really do. Like I think that if you're just using it for selfish benefits, that helps no one.
So I just think it doesn't last as long either.
No.
And you don't get to make great shows like Manifest that keep the fans completely spiraling for like months.
Yeah.
I can't wait for people to see tonight's episode. It's
I know, me too.
We do have a couple questions
Sure.
before we get out of here. The first one comes from Twitter. Deckers Roxburgh asks, not Manifest related, but what advice would you give to girls that struggle with anxiety or low self-esteem like myself that you see as a role model?
Wait, can we start the question again?
Yeah. Basically, what advice do you have for girls that struggle with anxiety and low self-esteem?
I mean,
that see you as a role model. Sorry.
That see me as a role. I would say that I also struggle with that every once in a while. We're females, we're humans. So to beat yourself up about it is not helping, because just know that a lot of, like, pretty much everyone struggles with it. Whether it's today or tomorrow or the next day, like, we all go through bouts where we're not feeling at our best. But like, just start doing things that you really like and stick to them. Surround yourself with people who encourage you. Choose really good role models as well. Like that, I think that's the most important thing that I can say. Like, role models who value things that are important. And I think mostly just understanding that we're all in the same boat. Yeah. Whether we show it or not, we have days where we're up, we have days where we're down.
Yeah. That's always something that I wish younger girls could understand. Like, when you see a woman in her 30s and 40s, she still has the same sort of, you just learn to kind of deal with it and accept that it's a part of life. And
because I think that, like, with social media and stuff too, it's easy to look at pictures of women or to look at, women in media and go, they have everything together, they have all the confidence. Like, I have pimples on my face right now. Like, I definitely have done things on camera where I feel like, I was just telling my friends backstage that, like, I felt really insecure about the way that I did an interview. Like, none of us are perfect. None of us really know what we're doing, but just to know that, like, it's okay. It's fine.
And sometimes faking confidence leads to real confidence.
Exactly, yeah.
Which is what I've learned. Just pretend.
Cheers, yeah.
Until it becomes a reality.
Yeah.
We do have a couple of questions from the audience. Who's the first one?
Hi. I'm just wondering what was difference between filming season 1 for Manifest and season 2 Manifest?
Season 1, I mean, it was longer. We did 16 episodes. Now we're doing 13, so just like the time it took. But season 1, I think it was all new. I don't know that there was much of a difference, to be honest, though. Like, we're a really great family. Like, we all love each other. We all have fun. Season 2, I felt like... I'm sorry, I'm not answering this question very well. I think we were all a little bit more relaxed. We all kind of knew what we were doing a bit more, and we trusted what the story was. And yeah, I think we just got to play a little bit more because of that, because we knew our characters, we knew kind of like how to tell the story. And yeah, I know, I'm sorry, that was a terrible answer. So sorry.
Let's try again. There you go.
Hi.
So what was your favorite episode to film this season?
This season? Yeah. Good question. There's some episodes, I forget if it's 8 or 9.
I keep hearing 8 in my research. Sorry. I'm deep in the cut right now. I keep hearing it's 8.
I think it's 8. There's a storyline with an anti-828 group, and it kind of comes to a head around that point. So that was fun because there's a lot of action happening. Yeah.
Is there a character that you had the most fun with their story?
With their
like
story.
watching where it went places maybe you didn't expect?
I mean, one of the new characters that our show has is TJ, and he was on the airplane, but he's mostly with Ben in all of this season. The new characters for me are my new boss, her name's Bowers, and then I have a new detective partner whose name is Drea. So that was really fun to kind of engage with some new faces. But I don't know, I liked the anti-828 storyline. And then also just like working with Zeke a lot this season, I got to see, he has a really cool storyline coming up, and there's definitely some shifts in the characters for sure. Yeah.
And one more question.
Hi.
So what has been your favorite place around New York City and like the greater New York City area that you've gotten to film? Because I know you guys have filmed on Long Island too.
I mean, we got to film in Times Square. It's pretty cool. Where else have we got to film that's cool? We've gone upstate a little bit, and it's just beautiful. Like, we went up there when it was cold, but there was one moment that it had freshly snowed and the trees were all covered, but it was still sunny out, and it was just like, it's really, really pretty. So for that reason, coming from Canada, I really liked that. Yeah. So, yeah.
Nature, I get it.
Yeah.
I forgot what nature is, but I know it exists.
I know, you're in a city and you forget, and then you get out, you're like, oh, I can breathe.
You're like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Oxygen.
Yeah.
Well, I can't wait for you guys. I said it again, but tonight's episode is definitely worth the wait. So congrats on another really successful season. Can't wait for fans to see it. Come back and talk more so we can actually talk about spoilers. Okay?
Sounds good.
So watch Manifest tonight and put your hands together for Melissa Roxburgh.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.